Hi folks, Van Prepper here. I did a video the other day on the New York SAFE Act ruling, the court ruling that was a little bit of a victory for New York gun owners. It threw out the 7 round limit that you could only load 7 rounds in a 10 round magazine. The judge upheld the 10 round magazine limit, but he said, 7 rounds, it's just a silly arbitrary number, and he threw it out. So I was pretty excited about that. It's a crappy victory, I get that. But when you live in the People's Republic of New York, you take what you can get. And at least to be able to go out with the guns that I don't have anything with over a 10 round magazine anyway. So at least to be able to go out with my guns fully loaded and to know that I'm not going to get pulled over uh, for a traffic violation or a brake light or something, and then end up, subsequently being arrested and losing my handgun license and all these other ridiculous things for having too many rounds loaded in a gun was nice. That having been said, I live in Cayuga County. I've narrowed it down for those of you who are trying to figure out who I really am and where I am. I live in Cayuga County, very small county. We are by no means a liberal county here in New York. I live in a city that is the biggest city in my county, and there's only about 30,000 people in that city. And that's by far the biggest city in this county. It is a very small county, and we are rural, and every single one of our state representatives voted against the SAFE Act and have been very vocal about that. Our city council has taken votes to denounce the SAFE Act and call for its repeal. We are by no means a liberal bastion here where I am. That having been said, our district attorney in this county came out today and said that he has looked at the ruling, and as far as he can tell, it doesn't change the enforcement of the SAFE Act a single bit for him. That judge's ruling that the 7 round number was arbitrary and throwing it out doesn't mean anything. He said he didn't find it unconstitutional, so until the court finds it unconstitutional, it is the law here in New York, and that's how they're going to enforce it. Well, district attorney, whatever your name is, I can't wait till election time. And if I see you at Walmart before that, I might punch you right in the face, you halfwit. Ooh, I almost dropped a swear word there. Listen, buddy, your job is to enforce the law. I get that. To prosecute things. Thank goodness that you aren't the law enforcement people deciding who to charge with stuff, because you, my friend, are a moron. A judge said that number is not going to stand. He tossed it out. You do not then get to go back and say, "Well, I don't know. The law said this, and until it's uncut." Sorry, you lose. Listen, that's my New York SAFE Act rant. I'm going around with 10 rounds in my magazine, and I don't really care what this clown thinks. I'm going to guess that after he gets a chance to actually read the judge's decision, which wasn't much of a decision at all, he's going to figure out that there's really nowhere to go, and maybe he's just trying to be, do a little political posturing to curry a favor somewhere. I don't know. I can't imagine that my county or any other ones. Heck, Onondaga County, which is a far more liberal county because it's got the large city of Syracuse in it, their district attorney came out today and he said, as far as he's concerned, he's not going to touch anything for the 7 round mag things because the judge tossed it out. So as far as he's concerned, that's the new law. The law's been changed. It's 10 rounds now. So I don't get how he can see it and our district attorney can't, but that's life here in New York. You just never know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates, as Forrest Gump said. You never know what you're going to get. I just want to bring in my man, Andy Prepper here. Andy has learned something new. We were driving around the other day. This is totally off subject. Please don't hold this against Andy. We were driving around the other day, and I listened to President Obama talk for about 20 minutes in the car, and I was flabbergasted because he said a ton of things, and nothing, not a single statement that he made was true. That astounded me. You have to stumble accidentally into truth once in a while. And so I said to my son, not meaning to say it to my son, I was just mumbling in the car, and I said, "Oh, I do not like that President Obama. He's been talking for 20 minutes, and he hasn't made one single true statement." And then we got talking about Obamacare a little bit. And as a funny side note, the next day we're driving around in my car, and some news story comes on about Obamacare, and Andy Prepper says, what did you say, Andy?
And I hate Obamacare.
Andy Prepper hates Obamacare. See, Andy Prepper is learning well from Van Prepper. Andy, you are correct to hate Obamacare, but you're not nearly informed enough to hate it yet. So, Andy wanted to get in a video, and he is kind of my main man. So, Andy, we love you. YouTube loves you. Nobody loves Obamacare. I'm Van Prepper. This is Andy Prepper.
appreciate it.